That is a monkey running in a diaper, and this is what you need to know. Hey everyone, it's your girl Emily Curl, and I'm coming to you live from iHeartRadio HQ here in New York City, and this is what you need to know today, July 18th. It's so good to be here on Twitch. We are new here, and so for the three of you watching right now, we're excited that you're here. It is our first episode, so please forgive the kinks and possible hiccups. We're still working some things out, but again, we are so thrilled to be here chatting with you about all things pop culture, music, entertainment, news, and gossip. We'll talk about all the things buzzing across your feed and blowing up your DMs. And we also want to know what you think about everything, so please join the conversation and chat us up. I have Twitch going right here on my computer, so I'll be able to live see all of your comments. So make sure that you let us know what you're thinking about everything. So I'm excited to engage with you there. You're part of this show too. So before we dive in, let's take a peek of all of our hot headlines. Olivia Rodrigo's got a wooden stake out and she's hunting vampires. Renee Rapp walks away from her sex life. Zayn Malik calls his daddy. Threads versus Twitter. Which side are you on? The Kardashians are keeping up with each other. Barbie, Ken, and their dream home take on the atomic bomb, and Real Housewives of New York restaurant mystery. We got it all coming. So before we start, let's kick it off with who is Olivia's vampire. Let's jump right in here. Olivia Rodrigo has dropped her new single, Vampire. It's the lead single off of her upcoming album, Guts, coming this fall. Have y'all heard this? Here is a sneak peek. Okay, y'all, I love this song. I've been playing it nonstop. Olivia Rodrigo, I'm such a fan of hers. But also her fans have been speculating exactly who the vampire is in real life. So in a press release for the song, Olivia states she was upset about a certain situation and went into the studio and the song just poured out of her. So now here's where it gets interesting. Many fans think the song is about her ex, Adam Faze, and Adam Faze has been in the news before, okay? So this is nothing too new, but another fan quickly recognized that she could be talking about her rumored feud with her former idol, Taylor Swift. Now this is big, okay? So we had one TikToker who broke down all of the drama. Check it out.
Is the #1 song in the world, Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo, written about Taylor Swift? A lot of people in my comment section seem to be convinced that Olivia dragged Taylor for filth in this song. So students, join me for a yoga class where I try to convince you that this is true in what may seem like a stretch. The song absolutely destroys its subject, starting with lyrics like, I hate to give the satisfaction asking how you're doing now. How's your castle built off people you pretend to care about? In her songs, Taylor Swift often compares her career to a castle.
My castle crumbled overnight.
But who else does that? It's such a specific question Olivia asked. Is she saying that Taylor built her career off of pretending to care for people and for her fans? The way you sold me for parts while you sunk your teeth into me. The reason Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor Swift didn't publicly speak at the Grammys this year, despite sitting so close to each other, is because the awkward tension of Taylor asking or demanding songwriting credits on 2 of Olivia's songs on Sour. So did Taylor kind of sell out their friendship for parts of a song that she has factually made hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars from? You sold me for parts. A line that can really be about Taylor is when Olivia sings,
Sucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire.
When Olivia Rodrigo and Conan Gray were at the peak of their fame in 2021, they were definitely used by Taylor to promote her albums at that time, including Fearless Taylor's version. Did Taylor suck them dry when she knew that she could use them to promote the re-records and then just kind of abandon them after and not be friends? Her lines, I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. Girls your age know better. Olivia publicly said the whole awkward situation where she had to give Taylor songwriting credits that kind of left her looking uncreative and silly was a lesson in business. Maybe girls Taylor's age know better and more about the business. And Olivia sadly said that the song Vampire is about a situation that left her confused and hurt. And having a run-in with your idol that went negative could definitely lead to heartache. I definitely understand why you messy bitches might think it's about Taylor Swift. If I had to gamble ramble Kendall Jenner's life on if the song is about Taylor, I would say no. And in my next TikTok, I'm gonna tell you who I think the song is actually really about. But if you want the full tea now, I already thoroughly discussed it all on my podcast. Link in bio, everyone is listening.
Okay, Patty Pop Culture is doing the Lord's work, so thank you, Patty. You put it all in one place for us because, like we said, this is layered. I have so many thoughts on this because if anyone knows me, you know I'm a huge Swiftie, but you can't deny there is some pretty solid evidence there. I mean, I don't know. I don't exactly know who it could be about, but I think it's interesting that Olivia and her team came out and said, listen, it's not about my ex, Adam Faze, but what they didn't do is say it's not about Taylor Swift either. So, okay, wait, do we think it's about Taylor Swift?
I don't think it's about Taylor.
You don't think it's about Taylor?
No way.
Okay, but here's another thing that I want to bring up. Okay, so Gamer Connected said, dang, this is some shade if it's true. I agree. Olivia's not holding back, and you're going against the biggest pop star in the world. Like, that's really interesting. I also think the song is ambiguous enough to make us think, could it be about Taylor? Could it not? And I think maybe that's what she wanted to, you know, start this conversation, and maybe there is a little bit of bad blood there. The other thing that I think is really interesting that Patty kind of goes into, Olivia dropped her Vampire music video, which, by the way, if you haven't watched it yet, it's flames, okay? I love Petra Collins. She directed it. Petra is such a visionary, and so the entire, you know, music video takes place on a stage. Olivia's on a stage, and it's just interesting because I feel like it's slightly referencing the fact that Olivia and Taylor were both at the Grammys in 2022, didn't speak even though they were really close to each other, didn't publicly interact, and then that was the same year that Olivia was nominated for Album of the Year with Sour, and there was all the back and forth of who really got those credits. Was Taylor supposed to be credited on the song? Y'all, it is wild. And by the way, they have not publicly engaged in a long time, okay? And before, they were like all in each other's comments, they were DMing everything. Obviously, Taylor's on this massive Eras tour, right? That's taking over the world. And so I think Olivia, if things were cool between them, would have been a perfect shoe-in to be on that tour. But guess what? This adds an extra layer. Instead, she books Sabrina Carpenter to be on the European leg of the tour, okay? Now, I think this is interesting because it's rumored that Sabrina was the third person in Driver's License. That was the other girl. So there's obviously some bad blood between Sabrina, Olivia. Yeah? Okay, wait, so let's see. Mr. Chalupa says Taylor is fame. Gamer Connected said, yeah, this is shade. So Gamer, you're right. This would be very shady, but shady kind of on both ends. I mean, who knows what really goes on behind all of this? I think it's just a really interesting conversation, and I think it's interesting that neither team has commented on it. I think they really want to fuel it up. And listen, no press is bad press, okay? So Olivia's getting ready to drop her album. So if this is the first track and she's already starting all of this speculation, I can only imagine what the album is going to hold, okay? So if you have any thoughts, yeah, it could be about more than one person. Okay, yeah. Do you have any? Who do you guys actually think it's about? Do you think it's the ex-boyfriend?
I think it's the ex-boyfriend.
Which one?
Or Adam or Zach. I think it could be either.
Adam or Zach. Okay, she said it wasn't about Adam, but who do you think?
I think it's about any guy. I think it's about a guy.
Okay, but people have been saying that she's trying to throw us off by using like male pronouns. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's gotta be. To me, it's gotta be about a guy because I think there's no way she'd go after T-Swift like that.
Okay, so Ina says it's gotta be like, I know why she's going after T-Swift, but I don't know, Ina, money and fame make you do some crazy things.
You're not wrong.
Okay, so we may never know who the real vampire is. Okay, Ryan's joining. Ryan says this is about vampire. Yes, Ryan, we just went through the whole thing of who this was about.
Ryan.
Welcome, Ryan. Ryan's here. But let's just go to the music aspect of it. Of course, for iHeart. Do we like this song? Y'all know how I feel. Okay, Ina loves.
Love it.
Yeah. Ryan, Julius, how are we feeling? Yes. Are we into the song?
Yeah.
It's a bop.
I think it's better than Driver's License.
You do?
Yes,
Driver's
I'll say
License
it.
took over the internet.
I'll say it.
Driver's License, that was a moment.
This song is a butt.
Okay, I actually loved her last album, Sour, too. I thought it was a really, really amazing, like, maybe some extra. I had some really amazing songs. I think she's a great songwriter. And by the way, her voice is just insane. So the girl is talented. And I'm really, really curious now that we have that first drama out, what the rest of the album is going to look like. So I feel like this is kind of a Taylor Swift moment, too, where, like, none of Taylor's exes were safe. And I feel like none of Olivia's exes nor foes are safe from this album. So I'm ready for that.
The video is so good too, by the way.
The video is amazing. Yeah, we talked about, Petra directed it, which I love the video. If you haven't looked it up, go check it out. It's like a work of art. But like I said, I think it's interesting. I think she's dropping some Easter eggs. Who knows? Who's to say? But I'm going to stir the pot. Okay, so on that note, we're gonna go from vampires to college girls. Renee Rapp leaves Sex Life for College Girls. Her beloved character Leighton on Max's Sex Life of College Girls is leaving the show amid season 3 filming. Oof. So a lot of you already know this. What do you think? Let me know in the chat. We see a lot of comments. Here, Ryan loves my pop girlies, but a 30-year-old man listening to her. Thank you. Next. Okay, so Renee posted this heartfelt note on socials regarding the departure. So we have it pulled up on screen. Let me just read a little bit. She just says basically how thankful she is for the opportunity and that she wouldn't be half the person I am without Leighton. She's talking about, and y'all, I love that bitch more than you know. So obviously Renee was such a huge part of this show. I'm really sad to see her go. And I think show creator Mindy Kaling, who, if y'all forgot, Mindy literally wrote the show, also commented on her Instagram saying, we love Renee Rapp so much. And of course, we'll be sad to say goodbye to Leighton Murray, but we can't wait to see our friend on tour. So Renee is switching gears to focus on her music career with new music and kicking off the Snow Hard Feelings tour this September. So while I am so sad to see her leave the show, we at iHeart can't wait to see her and chat all about her music. I'm curious, Leighton was my favorite on the show. Did you guys have a favorite? Did you watch the show?
Leighton was my favorite.
Leighton was your favorite. I really, really loved her. And to be honest, I don't know how you feel. I was a little surprised by her departure. I feel like this was the big role that sort of catapulted her into this new level of fame. People know her. They're listening to her music. I'm a little bummed that you would think that maybe she'd stay a little bit longer on the show. I don't know what you thought.
I do too. Season 3 means the show's a hit. It's weird she's leaving.
I know. I'm actually really surprised. I'm really surprised because I think most people that you talk to would say that Leighton was their favorite. Oh, but this is interesting. Ryan says adored her character, but I think the show will benefit from less plot lines to follow. I think that's a good note because with the 4 of them, there was one that was always kind of left out. So maybe this would be nice. But Ryan, don't you think that Leighton was also like the best character line? Like I thought that was the best. He got whiplash from the scene cut changes. Okay, there was a lot happening in that show, but I still love it, okay? Yeah, she was the star. Now, the fans also had some thoughts regarding the show, and some of these made me laugh, okay? Twitter is ruthless and hysterical. Okay, so Hermit the Frog says, Taylor Swift and Dominic Fike and the 1975 and Renee Rapp and Boy Genius touring in the same year is really doing something to my bank account. And can I just say, I absolutely agree. The amount of money I have shelled out for concerts this year is actually insane. We have someone else saying Renee Rapp leaving the Sex Lives of College Girls truly is the most homophobic thing that has ever happened in the lesbian community. Which honestly, sapphic chaos, that is true. Okay, that's true. Danny says Renee Rapp is leaving Sex Lives of College Girls and I will be leaving this earth. Danny, take me with you because a world without Leighton, I don't want to live in that. Okay, we need Leighton back. I think we had one more. Oh, yeah. Lisa Marie says, Renee Rapp leaving Sex Lives of College Girls is my Zayn leaving One Direction. I think we can all agree that Renee and Leighton were probably one of the favorite characters. But it's interesting she says that about Zayn because Zayn has recently been in the news. Zayn is calling his daddy. Zayn Malik sat down for his first interview in 6 years. 6 years. I don't think you'll understand. That's a long time for him being in the public eye so much. He joined Alex Cooper on the infamous Chairs for an episode of Call Her Daddy. Both the audio and video version of this episode are out. Have you guys all watched, by the way?
Yeah.
Have you watched? Okay, I watched the full thing. I was so excited. Have you? Okay, everyone in the chat, have you guys watched yet? Let me know. While you do that, check out a clip from this conversation of him talking about his time in One Direction.
There was a lot of, look, I don't want to go into too much detail, but there was a lot of politics going on. Certain people were doing certain things, certain people didn't want to sign contracts, so I knew something was happening. So I just got ahead of the curve. If I'm being honest with you, I was like, I'm just going to get out of here. I think this is done, and I just seen it. And I completely selfishly wanted to be the first person to go and make my own record. If I'm being completely honest with you, I was like, I'm going to jump the gun here for the first time. I'm a passive dude, but when it comes to my music and my business, I'm serious about it, and I'm competitive. So I wanted to be the first to go and do my own thing. That was the reason. And then there was obviously underlying issues like within our friendships too. We'd been together every day for 5 years, and we got sick of each other, if we're being completely honest. So we were close, you know. We'd done crazy things with each other, and that nobody else in the world will ever understand or have them experiences that we've shared with each other. And I look back on it now in a much fonder light than I would have, you know, as I'd just left. There were great experiences, I had great times with them, but yeah, we just run our course.
I love.
Okay, this is that's not, well, that is kind of funny, but this is really funny. Ryan says, "Have you heard Zayn say the way he says daughter is so absurd. I actually can't get over it. I didn't know that." John says, "I watched on mute because I wanted to just look at Zayn." That's true. I will say that, like, Zayn was always the one that I had a crush on. Okay, and it's interesting watching this. You know, watching this interview back, he was talking about when the band was forming, that they all kind of had a certain identity they fit into, and Zayn's automatically was, he's the sexy, mysterious one. And he was kind of like, that's really honestly not even me. Like, I was just more chill and calm and like to take a step back. And that's kind of what everyone put on me. So I'm excited to like put myself back out there and like have everyone introduce me in a different way. So I think that's interesting. And there's always been a lot of rumors about feuds in the band, but based on what he said, who do you think his biggest beef was in One Direction and why? Do we have thoughts? Who do we think Zayn was beefing with?
I agree with you in your theory. I think you should break down your theory.
Here's my theory, and I remember this. It's a core memory for me of me watching the first One Direction documentary. And I'll never forget, it cuts to Liam, and Liam's talking about how they wish they could actually just kick Zayn out of the band. Which at the time is so savage. But I think he was kind of like the oddball for the other two. Like, we knew Harry and Louis had a really close relationship. Niall's friends with everyone. But I really think that Liam and Zayn butted heads. And in fact, from that documentary, they talked about how Liam, they nicknamed him Daddy Direction because he wanted to like control everything. He was like their dad of the group. So I could see there'd be some intense things happening there, which is really interesting.
It's totally Liam.
That's solid
But
evidence.
Yeah.
That's like.
Good character.
okay, so John says Zayn has the best voice of all of them, and his albums are so good. I agree. His first album, Tio, that song, okay, it's sexy. If you haven't listened to it, go listen. That album, like, I put that on for special occasions.
I wanted to tell you Zayn's better than Harry Styles.
What? Who's saying that? Zayn is overrated. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have a lot of people. Let me ask y'all this. I wanted to go back. I was in high school, 2010. I'll never forget Harry Styles kissing the girl, and That's What Makes You Beautiful. I was actually like legit in the fetal position that wasn't me. I want you to think about who was the first One Direction member that you had a crush on. Who did y'all have a crush on? Niall. Okay, now Harry. Did y'all? Who did y'all like vibe with? Julius and Ryan. I think Harry was everyone, but I think my second one was also Zayn. Zayn was, and so it's interesting to watch Zayn evolve.
I think of most people I know, their first crush in Wendy was Zayn.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Interesting.
Looks most different.
He looks most different. He has the tattoos.
Yeah.
By the way, I am into his tattoos. I saw a lot of conversation about, like, do we like the tattoos? I love the full head tattoo. Like, I'm down for that. So I don't know what y'all think, but I was into that. There's also another part of the conversation we need to bring up. So Zayn addresses the infamous 2021 incident with the Hadids. I know you remember this. He can't say a lot about it, but here's what he did say.
Earlier, I don't tend to get involved when people say things online, whether it's got something to do with me or whether it doesn't. Because for me, my most valuable thing that I have in life is time. And that takes so much time in a toxic environment to, like, explain yourself to people and justify this. And so I just kind of keep to myself. I knew what the situation was. I knew what happened. And the people involved knew what happened too. And that's all I really cared about. If anybody, you know, of a sane mind would look at the situation, I believe that you could respect that. Like, I just didn't want to bring attention to anything, you know. I just wasn't trying to get into a negative back and forth with her, any sort of narrative online where my daughter was going to look back and read that and be able to read into it, and it would just be something there was no point.
Okay, so obviously he can't speak much about the conversation, and I thought Alex Cooper did such a great job of navigating a lot of delicate things because, I mean, he talks about he has anxiety. He hasn't done an interview in 6 years, which I can't imagine just jumping back into that, and especially in a very public, delicate situation that he's talking about. But he does go on to talk about how he still has 50% custody of his daughter Kai that he shares with Gigi Hadid, And if he were in a dangerous place, or if something were to come from that situation, he wouldn't have had that custody. So I felt like that was important that he mentioned that. So there's a lot of speculation on the internet as to what happened, but he's such a private person that he's like, let me just take a step back. I also thought it was interesting that he has fully moved to Pennsylvania. He was saying how like the city is too much for him, the paparazzi's too much for him, and Pennsylvania was like a nice place to be that felt like a little bit out of the way. Interesting, if I was Zayn and had One Direction money, I would not be living in Pennsylvania. I don't know about you guys, but that wouldn't be my first choice. Listen, if you're watching from Pennsylvania, I love you. To our 9 viewers, if one of you's from Pennsylvania, convince me otherwise. Ryan says, imagine being quiet for 6 years. I quite simply could not. I haven't stopped talking once today. Okay, Rye also says, yeah, we got to mention this, that Gigi is also, speaking of co-parenting news, Gigi was also arrested today for having marijuana on her trip. We don't know all the details of that yet, but she did just post on Instagram basically just saying all's well that ends well. So it looks like Gigi is fine and she is good to go. So glad to hear that from Gigi. John says, oh God, here we go. Lots happening today. The other thing I wanted to say about Zayn is that he is dropping new music. So he has a new song coming this summer that he wants to be like a fun summer bop, which I thought was interesting, very different from the Zayn that we know. So I'm glad that he's dropping new music, doing an interview, and finally seeing him respond to some of the things that have been thrown around about him. I'm really excited for the new music. And I also think it was interesting he went on Call Her Daddy. We were talking about it earlier, how typically with artists, if they really are very music focused, I can imagine a couple other shows they'd want to go on. iHeart. But I did think it was interesting that he chose Call Her Daddy because Alex is known for not holding back. She dives right into everything, which I really respect. It's a hard thing to do as an interviewer. So I'm curious if you watched what else you took away from that interview. It was done in Pennsylvania at Alex's childhood home. So I feel like it was just good for Zayn. The vibes were right. It was nice and calm. He talks about a lot of stuff in there. So let me know your thoughts in the comments and we can dissect more because I could talk about Zayn all day. And I know John could because you're obsessed. Okay. All right. But next up, we have something else that we need to talk about. It's a Threads versus Twitter cage match. And there is no escaping it, y'all. Some of y'all are here for it. Others are totally against it. It's Threads. Okay. Just what the doctor ordered for all of us, a new social media app. Which side are you on? Are you using it? Are you ignoring it? Let me know, regardless of where you fall in the conversation. You have no doubt enjoyed the reaction on social media. Take a look at some of our favorites. Okay, so we have right now people balancing on Twitter and Threads. We have the user right in the middle. Y'all, this is so true. I keep opening one app, going to the other. I can't figure out where we're all, where are we all hanging out, okay? We have another one. You're trying to see if Threads is better than Twitter. We have, what is this? Meta's new app was built entirely using the keyboard. Y'all, what's funny about this is I actually saw Elon responded to this with a laughing emoji, which he's all, yeah, he responded to this. We have, this one did me in. Me to Twitter after creating my Threads account. Oh, it's good. A good little Hannah Montana moment. Okay, can't go wrong with that. And then we have some other people saying, are we going to Threads now or what? Yeah.
I'm not fucking leaving!
Obviously, there's some people
The show goes on!
on Twitter is keep taking the screen.
This is my home! They're gonna need
yeah,
a fucking
that's actually
wrecking ball to take
and this is my absolute favorite one. We just need a moment of appreciation for this one.
जहाँ है वहाँ रौनकें सारी तुमसे ही पिया ओरे पिया पिया रे पिया.
Oh, listen, we've all been Threads, we've all been Twitter, we've all been there, okay? We know what that feeling is like. If nothing else, this whole debate hasn't worth the memes. Okay, so really, y'all. Yeah. Okay. So, what do we think? Like, are we Threads? Are we Twitter?
I'm Twitter.
You're still Twitter. Have we? Are you? But have you downloaded Threads?
No.
You haven't even downloaded it? No.
No.
No. I know you're not even on social media, so don't even pretend like you know. Okay. I have a lot of thoughts on this. One is someone who is constantly creating on the app. And I'm curious, like everyone here commenting, someone who is constantly creating, if there is a new app, a potential of growing on that app, I'm joining, okay? I'm a sellout. I'm going to get right on that app. I'm going to be threadsing it up, okay? And one thing I did like about Threads is that it's connected to your Instagram. So already all the people you can automatically sync to follow. So it's really easy. So if you want to keep your same curated Instagram, which we all work really hard at curating our Instagrams, we spend a lot of time on that. It transfers right over and you can see everyone's daily thoughts, which is different than like stories or Instagram. So in some ways I'm like, okay, this is nice because it's unfiltered of your friends or people you already like and you already know. It's already a curated place for you. It took no work on your end. The other hand, I think what makes Twitter so great is you get to see a lot of people's opinions of people you don't follow. And it's also hysterical. And I think that Twitter is like cutthroat. It's raunchy. It's funny. Like I feel like people are a little more polished on Threads because it's connected to their Instagram and everyone can find their Instagram. It's at the top. You can click right to their Threads account. So when I first got Threads, I was super down. I was like, yay, new app. And I was like, you know, I feel like some stuff is happening with Twitter that we're all aware of that I wasn't a fan of. They took away my blue check and I still have a chip on my shoulder from that. But being on Threads, I was like, okay, this is kind of nice. This might be different, might be interesting. But now being on there for like a week, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm feeling this anymore. It just feels like an additive thing. And I still kind of like Twitter. I miss Twitter. I can't believe I'm saying that. Do you guys feel that? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're spot on. There's like,
You think, okay.
You're too self-conscious in Threads because it's so visible.
It's everyone that knows you. I also think on Threads, I noticed that you can't do hashtags, so it's harder to find and source content that you like. So just on a full platform, you know, standpoint, I don't love that.
Why do we need that?
Why do we? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so John says my Instagram friends are boring as hell. They're all superficial. Twitter is where the actual creatives are. Wow, John, you follow me. Okay, I take personal offense to that. All right, Ryan says, follow me. I don't know how to shut up clearly. He doesn't. Ryan says Threads, Twitter. In real life, I'm easy. Okay, love that. Okay.
Do you think Threads is going to stick around?
I'm not sure. Ryan says usage is apparently down 20% from this time last week. I can't tell because I feel like in the past when we've seen these things happen, like I always think back to Snapchat where Snapchat, everyone posted stories. It was like your daily stuff, your daily life. And then Instagram started doing stories. And I remember the first like month of stories. I have a vivid memory of this that like I posted one and I was like, okay, like this is Snapchat's thing, but I guess I'll do it. Now, mainly we all work in stories. So I think it was maybe off to like a really, really intense start where like millions of people signed up, a great start, but now everyone's like, what do we do with this? And I could see how right now there's a lull, but it could start evolving again. But I also think there is something to be said about like just the rawness of Twitter and like how fun it is. But I do think there maybe some redirection for Twitter might be nice, but that's a whole other conversation I don't feel qualified to speak on. But it's interesting. I think with any new app, it takes time to like see what it's going to be and evolve. But I like the idea of it, and I think it's fun to connect with your friends in a new way. So we'll see if we stay on it. I literally posted one yesterday, but I haven't checked it in a long time. So, but I don't know. Follow me, okay? Love you. Thank you. Okay, so Ryan says, oh, this is interesting. Ryan says, I think it'll become like the Messenger app. It's there, but you must never go there. That's so true. That's so true. Okay, Ryan said it went viral. Wait, what went viral, right? I don't know what went viral. Okay. Anyways, let me know what you're thinking in the chat. We already have a lot of opinions on this. It is interesting because who knows what's going to happen. But I will say, from a content creator standpoint, it might be nice to just get on the app. But do we really need another app to check? Only time will tell. All right. We have some more things coming your way. So... okay, wait. Yeah, if you're on, here we go. Oh, down a little. Yep. Wait, no, the other way. Keep in mind, this is our first show, y'all, and we've got a teleprompter, which you know goes wild. All right. Next up, my favorite subject to talk about. Keeping up with their Kardashians. Keeping up with their Kardashians. So if you're like me, you can never get enough Kardashians, high drama or otherwise. Recently, we all saw the ongoing Dolce & Gabbana spectacle unfold. And in this last episode, we saw Kim and Court makeup. I don't know. It was a little lukewarm, right? Let me know what you think. Of course, this has been like a through line throughout this entire season. And to be honest, I'm kind of getting tired of this whole argument. So they finally like had like hashed it out, which I'm glad because we needed more storylines. But Kim has actually gotten a lot of heat about making it all about her. So the Dolce & Gabbana incident has just been one of multiple accusations directed at Kim for putting herself in the spotlight no matter what. So if you don't know this, okay, we have some people commenting on Kardashians, but if you don't know this, let me give you a little recap. So Kim accepted a partnership with Dolce shortly after Kourtney's wedding to Travis Barker in May 2022, which, if you remember, was a huge deal. So Kourt wore a mini dress designed by the company, and Kourtney expressed displeasure, stating that Kim used her wedding as a business opportunity and took away from the specialness of the day. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Ryan has thoughts. So in the show, Kourt responds to the topic with, people think it's a misunderstanding. It's not. Ouch. So the shade has been thrown, okay? Oh, yeah. I think it's interesting because if you have y'all kept up with the Kardashians for as long as I have? Are y'all like big Kardashian fans?
I am. Yeah.
I am. Okay, so if you've watched any of the show, you know that there's some really interesting sister dynamics. I have two other sisters. I get it. It's like there's certain things that like you just can't explain, and I think we've always seen from the beginning. Kim has always been, I mean, Kim's the most famous Kardashian. We know that. Kim has always been in the spotlight. Kourt has always kind of been there, but there's been a back and forth between the two of them. There's been a lot of tension. So Kim, in the argument, of course, denied that there was any attempt on her part to steal any thunder from Kourt. She then fired back with a tit for tat. And y'all, this is hilarious, pointing out that she got married in Italy, then Kourt did. She had Andrea Bocelli perform at her wedding. So did Kourt. Then Andrea himself chimed in over Twitter. Okay? Andrea said, "Dear Kim Kardashian and Kourtney Kardashian, I'm so flattered you both love my voice. But you know there's a younger and far more helpful artist, Matteo Bocelli, whose mother, Kris Jenner, knows very well. We'll see you in Tuscany." So the fact that Andrea is fully weighing in on the Kardashian drama is everything to me. So Andrea references his son, Matteo, and y'all don't know this, but I would like Matteo to sing at my wedding when I marry him.
Can I ask you, can you sing us a little bit of the song?
Perfette, ma perfette per amarci.
Y'all, the hand on the chest, okay? When I say I was giddy all day, I literally left it. I was like, y'all, I've actually fallen in love, okay? So I had a time. Matteo, I can confirm I love him. Matteo, I miss you, okay? Call me. To sum it up here, I actually love this tweet from Kourtney K. Diva. She says this.
I got married in Italy. Am I saying you copied me by getting married in Italy? Who performed at my wedding? Andrea Bocelli. Who performed at Kourtney's wedding? Andrea Bocelli. You stole my wedding country and my wedding performer. Andrea Bocelli is my favorite male singer of all time, but I'm copying her Dolce Vita lifestyle. Okay.
Okay, y'all, I have some thoughts on this too, which seems like we had some opposing thoughts. Like, do you see both sides in the argument between Kim and Kourt? Team Kim?
Team Kim.
Really? Okay, let me tell y'all why I'm kind of like, I could see both sides for this. If y'all remember, let me take you back for a second, that I'm a Kim stan, okay? I love Kim. But Kim, for the longest time, was Balenciaga's muse, okay? Kim strictly wore Balenciaga. It was this whole thing. That's all she wore. And then you remember there was a lot of, like, Balenciaga drama that happened with they had that really bad, photo shoot. All this stuff went down, and then it was just no longer heard that Kim was ever with Balenciaga. I think it's so interesting, and I think the Kardashians are master marketers, that the fact that this entire season was associating Kim with a whole new designer, Dolce & Gabbana, that she's never been associated with before. So I do think I can understand from Kourtney's perspective. She's like, listen, Kim, I've been thinking about my wedding with Dolce for all of these years. I never, she's never married anyone. She's with Travis Barker, she's in love with, has this partnership with Dolce. And then of all the other designers in the world, meanwhile, Kim was just with a whole other designer. Kim is like, I'm going to go on Dolce's side. If that was me and my sister was like trying to do that, granted, I cannot relate to this whatsoever, but just in a general sense, I would be upset. So in some aspects, I actually kind of get why Kourt would be mad about it. And also, Kim is the most famous. Kim does everything. She has everything. So I'm like, let Kourt have this moment. Don't even worry about Dolce. Do something else. I don't know. I can see both sides. I'm curious what you guys think. John says, John says, guess Kris Jenner isn't on strike with all the other writers in Hollywood. Kris Jenner is actually working so hard, okay? The devil works hard, Kris Jenner works harder. Ryan says, Kourtney's been getting married for so long. She's like that girl that celebrates her birth months and expects you to as well. I'm going to be honest, I feel like that was pointed because it turns, June 1, and it's my birthday for the whole month, okay? Get that check, Kim. That's interesting. I don't know. Listen, I'm here for it. I love Kim. I think that, like, Kim was respectful in the conversation, apologized, saying, like, I never wanted to upset, like, our relationship, our sisterhood, anything. But I think, like I said, it goes back to a long, deep-seated issue of Kourt just feeling like she's second best. Even in the last episode, we see Kris gives a toast at her birthday dinner and calls out Kim and is like, Kim's now the leader of the family. Kourt is like, what about me? Like, I'm the next in line. And she was even saying how she's kind of building her own life and her own family outside of the Kardashians. Like, she wants to have this whole thing. So I do think it's interesting. I'm like, listen, let Kourt have her moment. Let her get married. Let her have this thing with Dolce. Kim, we didn't need that from you. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I can see both sides. But you guys are very Team Kim. Did I sway you at all with my back and forth?
That was good.
You just said no. But you said maybe?
Yes. Kim apologizing and owning up to it, that is big points for me.
Yeah, okay.
Saying she never meant to cause that.
Okay. All right. Well, we also have some other Kardashian news. Rob wants to come back to the show. And, I kind of forgot about Rob for a second, that was funny. That was an interesting twist. And also, Kylie was spotted with Jordan Woods. If y'all remember the whole Jordan, Khloe, Tristan drama, that was a big thing, okay? So could the ultimate of all BFFs makeups have happened? What do y'all think? Is Jordan going to be on the show? Is she making...
Yes.
You say Jordan's happening? Okay, do you think that they have made up? Do you think she's still, like, going to be friends with Khloe? Because Tristan's kind of a part of her life still. Like, that's still happening.
I think there's going to be a family-wide makeup. I think she's coming back. Yeah. I think we'll see some of the makeups.
We're going to see the makeups?
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan also says, forgive, but don't forget. Listen, going back to Vampire Olivia Rodrigo, I think she did just that. Okay, we brought this full circle. But also so curious to see if Rob's going to be on the show. I mean, we saw a little bit of Dream, so that's Rob and Blac Chyna's daughter is Dream. She was in this last episode, and Khloe was kind of like, "Listen, I'm her second mom. Like, I'm kind of always around." And they asked a little bit about her relationship with Blac Chyna, and Khloe was fully like, listen, if you sue a family member for millions of dollars, we ain't gonna be friends. So I don't think we're gonna see Blac Chyna on the show, but we do see Dream, and I kind of would be like, I'd be intrigued to see Rob on the show again. Ryan says, Khloe for Nobel Peace Prize 2023. Khloe has been my favorite person on the show this season, by the way. I've always been a Khloe fan, but like, she has been so hilarious, so down to earth. I love this whole thing. John says, forgive and don't forget, but always get that check. Okay, that's gonna be my new Threads bio when I'm back on Threads. Oh my God, y'all are cracking me up with this chat right now. Okay, we've got a few more things for you. So from the Kardashian empire to the Barbie empire. It's a Barbie world, baby, and it's a huge weekend for movies this weekend. And unless you've been under a rock, it's hard to avoid all the Barbie hype. From genius marketing collaborations, Airbnb has a Malibu Barbie dream house you can literally rent. It's a nonstop pink everywhere. It's a lot of buzz. So Margot Robbie has been attending global premieres of the film, wearing real-life outfits inspired by Barbie doll looks over the years. Here are a few of the highlights. And I have to say, this wardrobe styling is actually exceptional. I can't get over this. Margot is the perfect Barbie. By the way, this red dress I'm obsessed with, and I want to wear this to iHeart Awards. Okay, so Margot, if I can borrow that after you. This pink number, one of my favorites though was this black moment with the dress, the sleeves, the little like frill at the end. I thought it was perfect. By the way, go look this up. There's actually Barbie outfits that she matches. So she's not just doing Barbie inspired. They literally created life-size outfits. She's worked with tons of different designers. So it's just really fun. I feel like the marketing for this movie is off the charts, and it's probably some of the best marketing I've seen in a really long time. The only other thing I'd say that would be second to that is Oppenheimer, and we're going to talk about that, the fact that they're coming out on the same day. One thing we have to mention, this honorable mention, is this Barbie phone, which is everything, okay? If we need a trend to come back, it's the fact that we all need Barbie phones. So love Margot Robbie. I'm so excited for this film. Greta Gerwig directed. Like, it's going to be amazing. I'm really excited. But like I said, it's going head to head against another big weekend box office contender, Oppenheimer, which is a very different vibe film based on the true story of J. Robert Oppenheimer and his role in the creation of the atomic bomb. Cillian Murphy stars in the lead. Here's a quick peek at the film.
This is a matter of life and death. But I can perform this miracle.
World War II would be over. Our boys would come home.
That's happening, isn't it?
Fans are ready for the blockbuster extravaganza, even going so far as to nickname the event Barbenheimer and flooding social media with memes and merch ideas. So check out a few of our favorites. We have people tweeting Barbie and Oppenheimer audience at the parking lot of the theater July 21st, which, by the way, this is a personality pick. Which one are you? I'm obviously the one on the left. And in fact, I think Ryan will probably be wearing that outfit as well. I'm so excited to see that movie. John says Barbie's going to make a lot of money in the first weekend, but Oppenheimer will be a slow burn over time. Please do not excuse my pun. That was good. That was good. Oh, he's good. So with all of this hype, what are you going to see? Let me poll the audience. Which one do you want to see first?
I'm gonna see Barbie first.
Barbie first. Yep. What do we think back here?
Barbie first.
Oppenheimer? Oppenheimer first. Okay, so the two guys with Oppenheimer and the two girls with Barbie. All right. It's interesting. So a lot of people are actually doing double headers and they're going to see both movies, which I think is really interesting, where a lot of them are starting with Oppenheimer, then a brunch, then Barbie. But I think the people that are starting with Barbie and then Oppenheimer, are they okay? Well, we don't know. We'll find out. Are you excited for this mashup? Barbie promises to be potentially not all it seems on the surface with Greta Gerwig in the director's chair. I think we're all going to be really pleasantly surprised by Barbie. Not that we're not all excited, but I think it's going to have different twists and turns that we're not expecting. Hints of a more existential look at the phenomenon of the doll that has captivated the world since its debut in 1959. So here's a little clip from Barbie in case you haven't seen.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Ken.
With the radio blast and goes cruising just as fast as she can now.
Stacked cast. Okay, so I'm excited to see how everyone takes on Barbie. Plus, if you haven't seen Ryan Gosling and all of his Barbie promo in the press junkets on social media, he is hysterical and he is channeling all the Kenergy, okay? All the Kenergy into this role, and I think he's going to absolutely nail it. So I'm ready to see Barbie, and I also am going to prepare to see Oppenheimer as well, but Oppenheimer is also 3 hours, and my attention span is not. So I'm going to see how that goes for me, but let me know what you plan on watching. Oh, no, John says we can't hear you. John, can you hear me now?
You're back.
Oh, we're back. Okay. We're back, everyone. Okay, thanks for being here. All right, we have one last thing for you. The Real Housewives of New York. Don't go there. Now, just wait. Well, actually, John says, how many Barbies did you have in the UK? I actually was a Polly Pockets girl. And if they make a Polly Pockets reboot, I'll star in it, wearing Margot Robbie's outfits. Anyways, talking about Real Housewives, are you watching the reboot of The Real Housewives of New York? The cameras are back in New York City for this brand new installment. Season 14 made its debut last Sunday, and the fans' reactions were a little bit mixed. So I love reality TV, but The Real Housewives is one that I have not seen before. This is like, I'm fresh to the show, so I was excited to dive in because, like I said, it's a brand new cast. I was like, this seems like an easy way to start. Some people are saying that it's tragically boring. Yeah, so watching it back the first time, I wasn't fully in love with it. I wasn't underwhelmed, but it's a really stacked cast. Jenna Lyons, Saida Silva. But there's one thing that really has fans talking. So they may be divided on if the episode was a hit or not, but everyone is dying to know which restaurant they were referring to as the wouldn't be caught dead location. People are talking about this mystery more than anything else on the show. And in case you didn't watch the first episode, I'll tell you a little bit what happened. They were talking about how before the show, they all went to a dinner to sort of have this moment to be friends and get ready for filming. And some of them didn't show up to this dinner because they wouldn't be caught dead at blank. And so they reference this restaurant throughout the entire episode, but they never actually say what the restaurant is. They're bleeping it out, basically saying, like, I haven't been there since 2006. No one will confirm what restaurant that people are talking about. Bravo execs won't confirm it. No one will. So the internet has decided that they are going to go for it. And yes, okay, so John says it was Catch. A lot of people are saying it is Catch, which makes me laugh. It's Catch, right? Okay, it's Catch. Someone said Carbone, which that doesn't seem right to me. You had other thoughts? You said it.
It's one syllable.
It's one syllable.
The restaurant's clearly one syllable, so it's either Tao or Catch.
It's either Tao or Catch. Okay, I could see that for sure. Either Tao, yeah. I think people are saying that they think it's Catch, but it's interesting. She was defending her choice, basically being like, it's hard to find a reservation for this many people, and the fact that I wouldn't come to Catch, I don't know. I feel like if I
alone, like Real Housewives have the same trouble we do when we go out with big groups of friends.
So true.
They can't get a res.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so if I had my birthday party at Catch, would you guys come?
I'd still come. I'd still come.
I'd still
come.
Yeah.
But not Tao.
That's where you draw the line.
Sorry.
Okay, so John says it was confirmed Catch. Okay, that makes sense to me. I could see it. I bet Catch is not happy about that. But going back to what we said, it's like, is there such thing as bad press? Who knows? I kind of want to be at the.
Like a million tourists now that will go to Catch.
Yeah, so true.
When they're here.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah. Oh, for
It'll
sure.
have a renaissance.
Have a revival. And then so our next episode will be streaming from Tao, and I'm really excited about that. We're all going our team dinner to Tao. Oh my God. John says clearly none of them are real New Yorkers because real New Yorkers bring friends to Empanada Mama. I love that. Okay, y'all. That is all we have time for today. This has been such a fun episode. Thank you guys for making me laugh and for being in the chat. This has been so fun. And thanks for being kind to work out all the kinks. You're so happy to be here. All of our crew is here. Round of applause for our crew hanging out with us. For everyone watching, let us know what you think. We'll be here lots more, and we will see you next week right here on iHeartRadio, so you better be back, okay? Can't wait to see you there. Bye, guys.